There's a phenomenon happening on a beach in Costa Rica.
This beautiful young lady that's right in front of me is the olive Ridley sea turtle.
For a few months a year, just before the full moon, tens of thousands of mother sea turtles land here to lay their eggs. Waiting for them are the biggest cats in the Americas, jaguars.
There's 3 discarded shells just in this 20-foot radius.
I'm Filipe DeAndrade, and I found a place that challenges what we think we know about wild animals.
So you've got 3 different big cats on 1 kill. Is that normal?
No, but in Nancite it's possible.
I'm teaming up with local experts who know this beach and its animals better than anyone.
He's within feet of a jaguar as it's eating a sea turtle and filming this with his cell phone.
We're gonna find out how the tug of war between jungle and sea all come together to create one of the most dynamic wildlife events on Earth.
We're gonna set up in the clearing over here and just wait for him to come back.
It's so close. The first time I ever set foot on this Costa Rican beach, called Nancite, I knew I was somewhere special. This is where 2 worlds collide. First, there's the famous sea turtle Arribada. That's Spanish for arrival. On just a few special nights, tens of thousands of olive Ridley sea turtles come ashore to lay their eggs. And then there's the jaguars. They come out of the forest to prey on the sea turtles. These big cats are extremely elusive and avoid humans at all costs. So I decided to set up trap cameras throughout Nancite. I have these all over the woods just to be able to see jaguars doing things that people haven't seen jaguars do before. And what I got blew me away. This beautiful cat is named Amanda. She's the first jaguar I've ever documented, feeding on a turtle out in Nancite. This is a unique predator-prey relationship happening on a beach around 2 miles long. But if I'm gonna tell this story, I need the help of a local expert. I team up with a biologist named Luis Fonseca, who's been studying the relationship between sea turtles and jaguars out in Nancite.
Ooh, very, very good.
He spots something even more unusual on our camera traps.
2 different puma
Yeah.
come to eat to the sea turtle. 2 different males puma.
This time around from the footage that we captured?
Yeah.
Hold on. So you're saying that, just so I can wrap my brain around this, that a jaguar killed and then 2 separate pumas came back on it. So you've got 2 different species of big cats, 3 different big cats on 1 kill. Is that normal?
No, but in Nancite it's possible. Yeah. I'm recording in 3 or 4
Nancite is not
times.
normal, so I guess that makes sense.
It's wild to think that in the span of 12 hours, a jaguar and 2 pumas fed on 1 sea turtle. But that's the kind of place this is. Adding to Nancite's mystique are some legendary personalities. Luis has been conducting his research for the last 12 years on Nancite. He has a research assistant, Wilbur, who's done something miraculous using only his cell phone.
You hear of Wilbur long before you meet him. He is a legend in Costa Rica. This is one of the few people in the world that has documented the jaguar within a few feet of it feeding.
Decirles la diferencia, digamos, de cuántos, no sé, pero sí he visto como 50 veces, he visto 2 jaguares en 7 años. y lo he filmado como 6, 7 veces con el celular.
He's literally feeling and smelling the breath of the largest cat in the Americas as it's feeding.
No cada vez que lo veo, siempre lo veo cuando ando en la playa caminando, ando siempre solo y con una luz fuerte de blancas, yo alumbro hacia el frente y a veces veo lo que son los ojos como que le brillan al jaguar. Después cuando yo los veo, me voy acercando poco a poco. Entonces así he podido lograr acercarme hasta 1 metro de distancia.
Wilbert is within feet of a jaguar as it's eating a sea turtle and filming this with his cell phone. I would never step out of the vehicle in Africa and approach a lion as it's feeding. He's getting angles that I could only ever dream of. And the only reason he's able to do that is because he spent the last 7 years, almost every single day in this area, walking alongside the jaguar. They look at him as part of Nancite. He's not encroaching on their territory, he is part of their territory. And that is a luxury that you can only have by spending every single day out here.
What's happening here is unlike anything I've ever seen. So I'm heading back to Nancite to get the whole story, hopefully on film. Turtles, jaguars, everything. The mass turtle nesting event only happens from July to December, which gives me very little time left to capture this. So if I'm gonna do it, I have to do it now. Getting out to the beach of Nancite sounds easy enough, but in the jungles of Costa Rica, nothing comes easy. Nancite is located in Santa Rosa National Park, which is in the northwestern region of Costa Rica, just under Nicaragua. That means incredible wildlife, but no decent roads.
Nancite itself has pretty much the limit of where you can go landscape-wise here in Costa Rica. And if you don't believe me, you can see that we're already stuck trying to get out here. But the problem that we're facing right now is we're in the mangroves and we're in 3 feet of water. All the camera gear, all the food is in the car, and we're still about a 45-minute hike away from the trailhead. So right now we just gotta get everything out of the truck, make it lighter, carry it over to where it's dry, and see if we can get everything in tonight. We have to utilize every single night we have here to try and film the cat. You really have to want to come to Nancite. You know, you don't pay an entry fee and just end up here and there's not a tour guide. You're here for a specific purpose. We just came across our first jaguar print, and that's a clear giveaway that he's in the area. We're not even at Nancite, and we've already got signs of cats, so that's very promising.
For us who are trying to navigate through Santa Rosa, the jungle can be a real challenge. But for the animals that call this place home, it is paradise. The park covers around 150 square miles in a diversity of habitat. It is part of a World Heritage Site, the Guanacaste Conservation Area. There are around 250 bird species and 115 different mammals. If you can't see all the animals, you can most certainly hear them. I finally made it out to Nancite, and I don't want to waste any time. So I'm heading out to the beach with someone I consider to be the Jane Goodall of sea turtles.
Oh,
She is.
Vanessa Beasy has been studying the mass nesting event for the last 8 years. We come up on a single turtle laying eggs. It's not an edibata, but solitary mothers do come up to nest from time to time. I'll take it as a good sign.
Yeah, it looks like she just started laying. There's a couple eggs in her nest.
You can already see.
Yeah.
Can you tell how many eggs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 6 or 7 eggs are in there already.
Really? So this is her labor room. She just has
Yes.
to be completely exhausted by the time she's done doing this. And then she still has to make her way back into the
She
water.
does. Now that she's laying, at this point, they're essentially in a trance. So any work that we do with turtles, we usually wait for them to start laying, and then usually we measure the carapace length and width, so the length of her shell.
Yeah.
We will typically count the number of eggs to know how many eggs she's laying, and that is really important for us to understand how we can quantify how many turtles there are in the population and the health of the population. We've got almost a full nest now.
Really?
She's
So she's
coming
been
along.
at it for a while, huh?
Yeah. From the time she crawls up the beach, finds her nesting site, digs the hole, lays the nest, heads back to the water. It might be an hour and a half before she's back at sea. Oh, look, she's about to cover her nest.
She's about to start covering.
Look at her flippers. Look at that.
I'll never forget the first time I met Vanessa a few months ago. She showed me my very first adibata. Nancite is one of around 10 edibata sites in the world. It still baffles biologists how tens of thousands of sea turtles can mass synchronize and come together to one location to lay their eggs, all at the same time. Since sea turtles are endangered across the world, it makes every single adibata site that much more important. If I'm gonna film jaguars hunting turtles, the edibata is going to be my secret weapon. The problem is, there's no guarantee it will happen at all. Conditions have to be just right, and I'm learning that Nancite is having a bad year. Nancite in Costa Rica is one of around 10 sites on Earth where mass sea turtle nestings, the edibata, occur, and the only one where jaguars have been filmed taking advantage of it. Considering that both the jaguar and the olive ridley sea turtle populations are decreasing, every single edibata site is important. But right now, we've got a problem.
In October, no arribada.
You guys missed the edibata entirely in October?
Yeah.
Last month, a tropical storm hit hard in Nancite. Luis is telling me that the turtles never showed up for the edibata, and that could be a problem for us.
Do you think this completely changes the behavior of the turtles and the other animals?
Yeah, for the sea turtles, the problem is the high tide.
high
It's
tide.
very near to vegetation.
Yeah.
It's not possible when the turtles come to digging and laying the eggs, the water washes the eggs. It's possible.
It drowns out the
yeah.
eggs. Yeah, wow. So the water, because it's coming up so high, is actually drowning the nest site, huh? That is wild, man. Well, I want to take a look at the rest of it. I want to see just how high this water line comes.
If the turtles can't find room to nest, they may not come this month too. And if the turtles don't come, then the jaguars won't either. All I can do is be ready. I'm gonna head out and set up my camera traps where I think the jaguars are moving.
We're heading through the forest right now, and I'm with Wilbert, who knows this area better than anyone. And one of the things I love about big cats is that they're gonna take the path of least resistance, just like us. So we're gonna set up some trap cameras in the area, and I just wanna get cats being cats. Not necessarily hunting, not going after a meal, but just cutting through the forest. ¿Dos cámaras? ¿Uno aquí y aquí? Sí. ¿Sí? Sí. Okay.
Yo siempre le he dicho a Philip que para poder filmar un jaguar A veces tenemos que dejar de pensar como persona y ponerse como en lugar del jaguar.
Wilbert's saying that this is the path that the jaguar takes to come out of the mountain and onto the beach. So we're gonna set up some trap cameras in this area.
The interesting thing about jaguars is that they're naturally curious. If they see a camera trap, they'll usually come right up to it, and that'll give us a really good profile of the cat.
A little bit more. The best part about these trap cameras is it's like Christmas morning because I'm anticipating checking the camera and having a cat, and nothing feels better than capturing the cat. All right, tres más? All right, so we have 3 more trap cameras, so we gotta be really deliberate about where we put them. Oh my gosh. There's another kill back here. This looks like a turtle graveyard. There's 3 discarded shells just in this 20-foot radius right here that the jaguar dragged the turtle into. Look at that. Nothing goes to waste from that kill. This is the most recent one right here. The smell is, it's kind of getting to me right now. But, oh man, this is not that far off from fresh kill right here.
This is a huge lead. It tells us that these cats are dragging the turtles off the beach and into the mangroves right here. They might be doing this to hide it from other animals that would steal the kill. I'm betting that the cat comes right back to this spot again. So I'm gonna put all my eggs in this one basket.
I feel good about it.
The camera traps will hopefully document the jaguars moving through the forest, maybe even with a kill. Camera traps are a great tool, but I need to spot a jaguar with my own eyes and film it in high resolution. I have to set up a hide on the beach and stake it out every night, waiting for the Edibada to happen so that I can get the jaguar. My camera assistant Alonzo is joining me. He's a local researcher and knows this area incredibly well.
Trying to do this as quickly as possible because I hate using light more than we need to.
Since the animals I'm filming are active at night, I'll have to be nocturnal. I'm using a special low-light camera that can film at 4 million ISO. ISO basically stands for the artificial light that a camera uses to see an image. So with enough moonlight, this camera can see in the dark. It does have some limitations, however. As the moon recedes, so does my light source. With the Edibada generally happening between a full and 3/4 moon, that limits my time to be able to capture the jaguar taking a sea turtle.
3 hours and no sign of life so far. Alonzo. Any cats? No, nothing yet. No cats. Nothing yet.
Being in a hide is one of the hardest things that I have done in my life many times because you have to be completely silent. You can't use lights, you can't move very fast, you can't make any noise. You're very limited to just wait for something to happen.
6 hours in here. Just got our first turtle. Wilbert's going up to her right now. Taking the measurements. Seeing if she has a tag. But no jaguar yet.
Night 1, no Edibada. But as Vanessa showed me, turtles sometimes come up in solo and can get taken by a jaguar.
Vámonos.
So Wilbur and I decide to head out and search for any signs of jaguars. We came across an old kill, but it doesn't look like the work of a big cat.
The crocodile?
Sí, que el cocodrilo la mató en el agua.
Okay, so you're saying that the crocodile's killing the turtle out in the water and then bringing it over here.
Sí.
Okay, and that makes sense because you can see the predation marks. You can see the crocodile teeth marks right here. And what we have here is wild to think about because the jaguar of all big cats has the strongest bite force, and the crocodile has the strongest bite force of any animal in the world, and that's around 3,000 pounds per square inch. So these poor turtles are up against two of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. These creatures that have been on the planet for 65 million years are being punctured by two apex predators, the crocodile and the jaguar. Vámonos.
So with no signs of cats on the beach, we're heading back to the camera traps in the mangroves.
Mi amigo,
Todo diferente.
todo diferente. This is the last kill right here. And these are the remains of it.
It's obvious that something was in the area. This means we might have captured something coming back to feed on this kill. I'm just hoping that the camera traps did their job.
26 videos.
With 26 new clips and obvious signs of predation, I'm hoping that we got our first shot of a jaguar. So I head back to base camp to review the footage with Luis and see what we got.
Oh my gosh.
Luis and I are looking over the trap camera footage, and the results are better than I'd hoped.
Oh my gosh.
This is the first male jaguar I've ever documented, and Luis thinks he's seen him before.
Look at this spot.
Yeah.
Biologists keep track of each individual jaguar that they pick up on camera traps, and they have an interesting way of profiling them. They can tell who's who by the unique pattern of spots, technically called rosettes. You can pretty much think of it as a fingerprint. No two cats have the same pattern.
Look at this.
See that one part right there?
Yeah.
That's right there.
Yeah, it's Alonso.
Wow, that's Alonzo.
Alonzo is the first jaguar to come back to that kill site. He's 3 years old and big enough to be considered the alpha male in the area. He's right in the middle of eating when something else grabs his attention. It's another male jaguar, older and even bigger. Male big cats across most species are notorious for fighting over food. But what happens next is unlike anything I'd ever seen. Two males, unrelated, sharing a kill. I've never seen big cats behave this way. This newcomer is no stranger either. Luis has profiled him too.
Yeah. Wow.
Vicente.
Vincente. Yeah, so Alonso and Vincente. And have you ever seen two males like that?
No in the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, normally the people think it's not possible to share the prey.
For a big cat, you wouldn't think it's possible for them to share.
But for me, the sea turtle is very, very abundant here.
Yeah.
The jaguar say, my friend, it's not possible. It's possible to share my prey, no problem. Yeah.
This might prove Luis's theory, that when there's enough to go around, there are no fights over food and everyone is happy. But with that turtle completely consumed, that means there's 2 large male jaguars out on the beach hunting. And with the potential for an Edibada any night, they're sure to be sticking around for more. I decide to get back in the hide as quick as I can. But on the way out, I spot something.
Oh my God, there's a turtle right there. Look, 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 look. Oh no, look at this poor turtle.
This is exactly what Luis was saying about the tropical storm. A lot of the beach was lost, and now the tide is coming right up to the mangroves. This turtle is having a hard time finding any dry sand to nest in.
We just found her walking through the mangrove right here. I don't know how long she's been walking, but this female is obviously confused. She must be completely exhausted.
We should help her. She's gonna have a really hard time here.
All right, what do you want to do? It's your call. You're the research assistant, so I'm not going to do anything unless if you tell me to get involved.
You can just help her a little bit to find her way to the ocean again. Show her the right way. I'm just gonna remove some branches and
Remove
roots.
branches?
Yep. So she can find her way.
So with a little help from Alonso, the turtle is now making her way back into the ocean, but without laying her eggs.
What makes it really, really tough too, like this is one of 2 spots in Costa Rica and 2 out of less than 10 in the world where an Edibada happens. And right now we're seeing the effect that that storm had on this location.
Now, I'm concerned about the bigger picture. If the turtles do come to nest for the mass nesting event, but there's no room for them to bury their eggs, what will they do? And what happens to their population? The sea turtle Edibada is our best chance at documenting the jaguar. So Alonso and I are going to do another night in the hide, hoping for the mass nesting event.
It's a little bit later than I'd like it to be to get started in here, but that's all right. Gonna set up our nice, cozy little situation for the rest of the night in here. Going on 6 hours. So far we've seen 4 turtles. They're kind of struggling to find enough sand that's both beyond the high tide line, but not in the grass. If a couple of turtles are struggling to look for decent areas to dig, then I can't imagine how an Edibada would play out where there's tens of thousands of turtles on the beach at one time.
There's no guarantee of exactly when an Edibada will happen, and I can't just ask the turtles when they feel like coming up. Biologists say the Edibada usually happens around a 3/4 moon. It's now a week past that, and we've only gotten a couple turtles coming up at a time, so I'm gonna go do a little bit of scouting.
I want to put up the drone really quick here because I want to see if any more turtles are coming over to the shore. And the best vantage point that we have is from the air to see if they're starting to accumulate and if they're going to be coming up onto the beach for the Edibada. I think just by doing 1 or 2 flights, scanning the beach line, it'll give me a really good indication if an Edibada is likely to start. All right, ready? You might want to give me a few feet here, just in case if it comes crashing back towards you. I've got one beautiful female framed up right now. They can travel up to 5,000 miles round trip. And so the reason she's back is to lay eggs on the same beach possibly where she was born. And it's just such a wild thing to be filming her because she's a nomad, she's a world traveler. But then as I pull out, I can see that she's not alone. She's joined possibly by her sisters or other females that were born on the same exact beach. But the really, really exciting part in all of this is that there's turtles in the water right off the shore.
It's exciting to see the turtles in the water right now because it means they're gathering in the area. But it's still not enough turtles to be a sure sign of an Edibada. We arranged for a boat to come pick us up off Nancite to get a closer look and film them in the water.
We've got turtles surrounding the boat right now. We've already seen 3, we've drifted a little bit, and now we've got about 4 more in the area. So it's just gonna be a nice exploration dive, see what we can get. They haven't dove this area yet, so I think this is a first for everyone, which is always pretty exciting because you never know what you're gonna get on these types of things. So I'm just ready to get in the water.
Right away, some of the turtles are just curious about what I am and come right up to me. So far, I've only filmed them on the beach where they can look really slow and sometimes awkward. But filming them in their true habitat proves how graceful they are and how effortlessly they can move. I can see why they're such great voyagers, capable of navigating the oceans and returning to the same beach where they were born to lay their own eggs.
That was incredible.
The dive doesn't last long until I get a call from Wilbur. Hundreds of turtles are coming onto the beach in daylight.
Yeah, let's go quickly.
This could be the Edibada I've been waiting for. So I have to get back to Nancite as quickly as I can before the sun goes down. As the sun sets on Costa Rica's Nancite beach, the full scope of the situation hits me. This is the moment I've been waiting for. The Edibada is finally happening. Tens of thousands of sea turtles are making their way out of the world that they know and coming onto a foreign landscape to lay eggs. This female olive Ridley sea turtle is one of life's winners. Starting out, she had about a 1% chance of making it into adulthood. She's possibly back at the same exact beach where she was born to lay her own eggs. Her species has been on the planet for over 65 million years. And one of the reasons they've survived is this mass synchronized nesting event. At one point, there were so many predators, either in the water or on land, that the turtles had to use overwhelming numbers to give themselves and their hatchlings a fighting chance. The Edibada will last for the next 3 days, with the majority of the turtles coming up at night. But the first night, we didn't see any jaguars.
Nothing. With last night being the first night of the Adibada, it would have been so easy for a cat to take one.
But the next morning, Wilbur has some news.
Gato?
He's found the marks of a jaguar dragging a turtle.
We're right by where the turtle graveyard is, where we came up on about 6 corpses a few days ago. This is where Wilbert said that he saw the drag marks leading this way. So the turtle can't be too far away from this area right here. So I'm gonna go find the kill. And I guarantee that the kill is about 20 feet that way because that's where all the vultures are accumulated right now. Even though the vultures stripped a lot of this meat in the past 24 hours, there's still a lot left. So I think he's gonna come back. We're gonna set up somewhere in the clearing over here, pop the hide up, set all the camera gear up, set up the infrared lights, and just wait for him to come back.
We've got to work fast because the jaguar could be back before sundown. He could even be in the forest watching me right now. The trees overhead will block the moon, so I have to set up an infrared light. If Wilbert's right, the cat is going to enter from the south side of the beach, and it will be perfectly framed. I'm really taking a chance because the kill is only about 20 feet away. That could get me a great shot, but it could also mean that the cat finds me. There's something moving in the brush, but I can't get a clear shot. After 14 nights, about 130 hours waiting in the hide, I finally get my first glimpse of a wild jaguar. There's something familiar about this cat. The longer it's in my frame, the more confident I am that I know it. It's Amanda, the 3-year-old female that my camera traps picked up months ago. She senses my presence and stares right down the barrel of my lens. This profile shot tells me something about her. She has a distinct bump on her lower stomach. Amanda is pregnant. She's surviving because the turtles are here. And when she has cubs of her own, she'll teach them to make the most of this gift from nature.
I think here in Nancite, you see nature balanced.
Together with Luis and his team, we have profiled 20 jaguars on this one beach.
In this safe haven that is Nancite, these jaguars are thriving, where in most parts in the Americas, their numbers are dwindling. You see every single animal having an important effect on the ecosystem around them, and everything is just right because nature is left to be nature here.
To me, the linchpin that holds this ecosystem together is the sea turtle. They're not only an indicator species, showing how healthy our oceans are, but they have proven to benefit the land as well. I also came away with an appreciation of the other crucial element, the biologists and locals who dedicate themselves to Nancite and its wildlife. Uncompromised effort from a few passionate individuals can truly protect a natural treasure. This area is about more than the relationship between two animals. It's a reminder of how amazing the natural world is, and a blueprint for keeping it that way.